My God, this is painful. I'm gonna need help to get through this review. Yeah, baby. Oh, fuck. Hey guys, how is it all going? So, I'm sorry, first off, for this review taking as long as it has, but I will be honest with you, I really, really, really did not want to watch this fucking movie at all. Oh, God, but I've been putting it off and putting it off, but I've watched it twice now, watched them both times, all the way through, and that was twice too much because I struggled the first time watching this movie. If you guys don't already know this, I'll just get it out the way right now. I fucking hate this film. Hate. And I put something on Twitter about Friday the 13th Part 8, basically asking you guys, like, what do you think of this movie? And it got a massively overwhelming positive response. There's a lot of people that actually enjoy Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, which is a fucking lie, by the way. This poster right here is a lie. The whole marketing for this movie was a fucking lie. Oh, does people actually enjoy this film? And I always say, like, film is subjective. We all have our own opinions. And that is fine, honestly. And if you enjoy this movie, fair play to you, honestly. But I don't get it. I do not get it because I found this movie painful to sift through. So, to get into the plot of this movie, Jason's resurrected again and takes a boat ride to New York. There you go. That's it. I'm not diving too much more into it. So, the film is called Jason Takes Manhattan. And honestly, he's in Manhattan for literally 5 minutes of this movie. Because what happened behind the scenes is that unfortunately the budget got massively slashed on this movie and they were running out of money. And they could literally only film for about 5 minutes in New York itself. And admittedly, them scenes are actually quite cool. But the majority of the time, Vancouver in Canada takes place as New York City. And yeah, it just looks shite. And like a good chunk of this movie takes place on a boat that never sails. If you look at the film, a boat never moves once, right? And it's so boring. The kills are shit. Jason looks shit. Oh, I do not want to talk about this fucking movie whatsoever. Oh, I really wish I did have alcohol to help me get through this. Right. Be a little bit positive, Dave, right? I am going to give this film some credit where credit's due, right? So, I do think the idea to take Jason out of Camp Crystal Lake was a good idea on paper. Um, it's surprising how it took 8 movies to get to this point, but eventually he got moved out of Camp Crystal Lake, which I kind of agree with. It got a bit stale with him staying in the camp, and the films were just basically like kind of rinsing and repeating a little bit, and I think it was about time. It needed to be a little bit more fresh and a little bit more new. So I do appreciate the attempt and the effort in that. The problem is, if you're going to call this movie Jason Takes Manhattan, Actually have it fucking set in Manhattan for the movie. Don't have it on a boat for a fucking hour. With don't know. No, positive. Stay positive. So, Kane Hodder is the best thing of this movie. You can tell he's having a really good time playing as Jason, and I think he's actually better as Jason in this movie than what he was in Part 7. Kane Hodder's the best thing of this movie by an absolute mile. When he eventually does get to the scenes that take place in New York, they are cool shots. And I must admit, I do like the scene with the gang where they kick off on Jason after he kicks over their boombox or radio or whatever you want to call it. And then he turns around, he lifts his mask up to show them the face, and they all go, "Oh, man, it's cool, man, it's cool." And they run off. I actually get a chuckle out of that scene. So the parts where Jason is actually in Manhattan, which isn't long at all, I do enjoy. I do enjoy. I like the main song to the movie that plays over the opening credits and the end credits. I do like the song. I think it's a nice song. Is there anything else? Oh, it does have one of my favourite kills in this movie, and that's with the box on the rooftop where he's just punching the living fuck out of Jason. And then he's so knackered, he's just hit him so many times and he's worn himself out. And then he just turns around to Jason, just goes, "Oh, Jason, take your best shot." And Jason just grabs him and knocks his fucking head off. I actually do like that. It's one of the best kills of the series. So I will give the film that as well. Everything else, the film can fuck right off. It can fuck off. Completely fuck off. I hate the look of Jason in this movie. I like to call Jason in this movie Juicy Slimy Jason, because he's just juicy and slimy for the whole fucking movie. I hate the look of it. Hate it. And when he's unmasked at the end, when he gets the toxic waste thrown at him, he looks shite. It's such a downgrade, because the way Jason looked in Part 7 is the best he's looked in the series. That is the height, and why they made them look the way they do in Part 8. I can't believe they looked at that and went, yeah, that's cool, that's a great idea. We'll go with that. Don't get it. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible. And the whole subplot of one of the main characters seeing Jason as a kid, like Ghost Jason keeps popping up everywhere and attacking her. What the fuck is that all about? Like, I don't get who made that choice. And the end of the fucking movie, when the toxic waste hits Jason, who made the choice of what kills Jason is that he turns back into a little kid after the toxic waste hits him because he melts and burns away, and then he's a kid. But the kid looks nothing like fucking Jason from Part 1. Completely looks different. He's not deformed, he's not anything, he just looks like a normal kid. Who thought that was a great idea? It's fucking stupid. Also, Jason can teleport out of nowhere, apparently. So if Jason's there and you run that way, Jason will just literally appear there. There's one point in this movie where a guy actually sees Jason in the alleyway, runs into the building, and then gets fucking through out of a second floor window. Jason's in the building. How the fuck? How? I'm not talking about this movie anymore. I fucking hate it. But believe it or not, it's not the worst Friday the 13th movie. It's a very fucking close second. It really is. But it's not the worst. So, I'm going to give Friday the 13th Part 8 a 1 out of 5. And that one is literally because of some of the shots of when Jason in New York is cool. But everything else is terrible. Oh, I haven't the acting in this movie. Now, I know the Friday the 13th movies, the acting is not the strongest element of the movies. I get that. But I've always kind of defended the acting in this movie. If you go back looking at my other reviews, I do defend a lot of the acting in it. Because I don't think it's as bad as what other people make it out to be. I really don't. But it's fucking horrendous. Horrendous in this one. And a little fun fact of behind the scenes. Now, one of the main characters, and I can't remember his name, and I don't care. There was an actor that was fired after only a couple of days because they didn't think his acting was up to par. But the guy that replaced him is actually the worst actor in this movie. He's fucking awful. So, whatever this original actor was like, he must have been horrendously bad because the guy they got him to replace him is terrible. Terrible. Got the charisma of a fucking bar of soap. You know what I mean? Oh, it's 1 out of 5. I hate this movie. Honestly, guys, good on yous if you do enjoy Part A, but I just do not understand. I don't get it. Guys, it's always a pleasure doing these reviews from you. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you again real soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye now.